take?
It was very tough, very, very tough to take any loss. To Tony Bellew, it was that extra little bit spicy. It just really didn't sit well with me, and I'm just fortunate that I got an opportunity to right that loss. It was tough, you know. I didn't anticipate it in any scenario that could take place in the boxing ring. I thought in a 12-round fight, which I was adamant it was, for no title, that in 12 rounds I'd find a way to knock him out no matter what, and if not, then I'd win on points, but that didn't happen. So credit to him, but this time round I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure I do get that much needed victory.
A very different approach this time, a little bit of humble pie?
No doubt, no doubt. You know, I talked big and I failed miserably last time, so can't have that again. I'm focusing all my attentions on the performance, focusing all my attention on becoming the very best David Haye I can be, working with a new coach, just trying to make sure that come fight night I'm tip top, that everything that I've boasted I could do in the past I can actually bring into fruition.
You've been there at cruiserweight and heavyweight. Yeah. How can you do it?
I can do it by getting back to my best, by focusing on my attributes, what I do well, what I don't do very well, and just being realistic about my physicalities, and knowing the injuries that I've had, how I work around those injuries. Because in the past maybe I just assumed just getting in the ring I could just land some shots and win the fight, but as you get to, I'm 37 years old now. I'm sure when did you give up, Greg?
Me, I give up in 93.
How was you? How old was you?
I was 27.
So 10 years, so 10 years older than when you gave it up. Is you don't recover like you used to. So I need to take all of that into consideration when I'm in training camp to make sure that I'm not pushing it too far. It's not all about just pushing 100%. That doesn't work. You push things 100%, things start popping and snapping. You need to work smart, work clever. And as I've got older, I've learned how to, particularly recently in the last year or so, I've worked out how to really kind of get my body to my optimal fighting capacity without injuring myself.
If you can get your body to that point, what about when all of a sudden the bell goes, 10,000 people or 20,000?
20,000, yeah.
20,000 people, millions watching home. What's going to stop anything snapping there?
My training, making sure that for instance, everything's taped up. My Achilles, my ankles, everything's taped up. So everything that potentially could have an issue will be fine. The way that I throw my punches, I'm not putting unnecessary strain on different muscle groups. It's pretty tough to train in a different manner to which I've always trained before, but that's all about experience, all about learning. It's all about knowing myself and having a team around me who adapt training processes to my physical capabilities.
David, here for seconds out, what can Ismail Salas bring to your training team that you didn't have for the first Bellew fight?
He's trying to bring out my natural attributes. He started from the feet up. First off, he was unhappy with how my legs were moving, happy with my leg positioning, how my hips were, rotation. He's literally worked from the bottom up. It's such a shame that the first fight that didn't happen in December, because I felt as good as I've ever felt before. Freak accidents happen, unfortunately, but here we are. So we've just carried on the good training we'd done prior to that fight. We just kept it going. So in hindsight, it's an unfortunate thing that happened, but it just gives me a little bit longer to sort of streamline and to focus on the new things, the new movements, the new punch sequences that I've been working with Ismail Salas for.
Have you been, or will you be sparring with Joe Joyce in preparation?
No. Joe Joyce and Tony Bellew are very different propositions. I try to get people who replicate as best as possible Tony Bellew on coming forward. For instance, I'll have someone similar stature to Tony Bellew who comes forward. I've got someone else who moves away, so to mix that in as well, to no matter what Tony Bellew brings, that I'm physically prepared for that.
Are there benefits to training alongside someone like Joe Joyce, though, someone a young heavyweight coming through?
Yeah, it does. We do a lot of circuits together and stuff, so he's got a crazy engine, so he just keeping up with Joe. He's not that much younger than me. He's 32, but he's very fresh, and he's got a huge engine. So if I can keep up with Joe Joyce, I'm fine.